your skin, that shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, living your best. Racks up. Oh, keep walking with confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus Exodus. Shout out to my exes. You've been sucking on the wrong ditch for life, baby. Yeah, just thought I'd tell you.
Hey, Booze, hey! It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Woman Exodus. How are you guys doing? Like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please say what's up to me in the comment section. Say what's up to me in the chat. Hey, y'all in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, when you have a moment, please pause this video and follow the backup channel. It is called LexX. That's LEXEX. You can also find the link in the description below. Also, if you have any suggestions or any ideas for any new stories, feel free to share that to me to my Gmail. That is lexusexoduschannel@gmail.com. Also, if you bop into the intro song and you enjoy it, you can now stream it on all streaming platforms. That's right, you asked for it, so I did it. You can now stream the Lexus Exodus Full Intro song on iTunes, Apple Music, and Spotify. So I want to start off with an Ask Lex segment, but before I forget, I want to talk about the Patreon briefly. So YouTube is on some bullcrap, y'all. They're on some bullcrap. If y'all follow me, you're very likely very familiar with Bondi Blue and Tanya TKO and both of their channels and their YouTube platforms. Child, why did YouTube remove both of their channels last week? And this is what I mean when I say YouTube ain't ish. So Bondi Blue, if y'all are familiar with her content, she's the most cleanest channel. The only thing she does really is she'll post reality show reviews or sometimes scripted TV. She'll do reviews. And they took down her ish. Tanya TKO, she talked about last week how she shared a viral video about a woman who was in the wrong for airing out her daughter on social media. Why did they take down her channel saying that it promoted child abuse? See what I mean? And YouTube has been effing with me as well. They said that my last 4 or 5 videos contain nudity. Verbatim, they cited that there was an exposed breast somewhere, like inappropriate sexual content. Let me show y'all my last few videos. So they were talking about, damn, I just had it up too. Here it is. So yeah, so they were talking about, they said that my Obsessed Becky video had a boob in it. My Dustin video had a titty in it. What else? The Side Chick video also had inappropriate nudity in it. I think they may have said the Scammers video too. So it's like, what the F? Can y'all tell me where the hell in any of those videos did I put nudity or sexual content in there? Y'all know I'm very deliberate and very intentional about censoring my stuff on here because I know trolls are waiting for me to make a mistake like that. I don't do stuff like that. I say M-word for God's sake. Some of y'all be so confused, like, what does M-word mean? What does R-word mean? Because I be trying to be careful to abide by those community guidelines. And here's the thing, there's no recourse when they make decisions like that. So Bondi Blue is still to this day, her channel is still down, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So there's not like a YouTube customer support line where you can call. Literally, they'll just yank your ish and then give you some generic reason in an email about why it was taken down, and that's that. So I even chatted with them, and they pretty much said tough nuts. I said, sis, I totally understand if there's something inappropriate that I maybe overlooked. Maybe, you know, the censoring can be a little bit tedious. Maybe I just didn't catch something. It'd be really, really helpful if y'all can just direct me to the appropriate timestamp so I know going forward what not to do. That girl said, okay, can you hold on for 5-10 minutes so I can look at your video? Child, why 15 minutes later, she said, I can't provide you with a timestamp. Just reference our policies. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm looking at your policies and there's nothing in there that I included in my video that violates those guidelines. What are you talking about? And she said, well, there's nothing you can do. There is nobody else you can speak to. That's that. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, YouTube is on some bull crap. They are very biased even when it comes to the algorithm and the types of videos that they promote. When it comes to how they apply those censorship rules, we know there's so many content creators that are very, very successful and very highly promoted, and they denigrate Black women. They call Black women German shepherds and say the most disgusting, vile-ish. Even if you think about Cynthia G, she's been doing this for years. It makes no sense. There ain't no way you're gonna tell me that Karen Scamuels reached 1 million followers where she only got 100,000. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense to me. So I'm going to start a Patreon. Like I said, this weekend I'll roll it out where I'll have a lot more freedom. We won't have to worry about being censored. You guys will be able to call in and be totally unfiltered. And then of course we'll still stream here a few days out the week where you'll get the more clean content. So stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout for that. I'm going to launch this weekend, and then I'll share all the details. And yeah, then hopefully that will mitigate some of these issues that we've been having with YouTube playing with my channel. It really is frustrating when you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into your channel just for it to be gone like that. I know Mad had some issues previously too, where her channel got taken down. So we're going to pivot over to the Patreon. That way I can give you the unfiltered, unedited, uncensored content that I know you guys enjoy. So, okay, enough of that. So let's start with an Ask Lex letter. This letter is from Kira, and I'm saying Kira's name because she's saying that is not her government name. So Kira writes, hello, Lexus. I hope this email finds you well. I discovered your channel about a month and a half ago, and it really gave me confirmation about divesting. Before coming across you, I didn't know it was called that. I was just saying I was done with niggas. After subscribing to you for about a month, I decided to join Tinder to give myself the opportunity to meet men of no color because I never really came across them in my regular life. I live in Barbados, and men of no color are the minority. After being on Tinder for 2 weeks and only swiping right on white guys, I connected with a few nice guys. There's this Brad that I met about 4 days ago. I'm feeling his vibe and he seems really into me. He is very affectionate and attentive. We are both very sexually attracted to each other. However, I've been traumatized from Blackistan. I'm used to men only being this way with me when they just want to access my body, so I'm scared. I don't want to be used by a white guy too. Even though I'm really feeling him, I think waiting a month before anything seriously physically happens would be a good idea, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Should I just go for it? How long did you wait? What advice do you have for a new divester? Okay, so this is a great question, Kira. This is an awesome question. So, first off, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but sis says she signed up for Tinder. Isn't Tinder solely for hooking up and it's known for meeting people to smash? And I'm genuinely asking. Sorry, I've been out the game for a while, for about 6 years. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what Tinder is about. Or at least it was back when I was single and when I was dating, unless things have changed. So if so, you have your answer there. Most men on that app are going to reach out to you, whether they're white or Black, because they just want to have sex. If that's the case, I would encourage you to try some of the paid apps, maybe Match or OkCupid. Some of the apps that are behind a paywall, because that'll attract a higher caliber of men, because they have to put some meat in the game, and they have to be more serious and aren't just casually browsing just to meet up for sex if they have to put some money behind their dating endeavors. So I'd encourage you to explore their options, and do that also because they typically, I think they offer free trials for women. So in any event, you're going to want to divest and vet. Okay, Kira, so divest and vet. I can't emphasize that enough. People will criticize my channel acting like I deify non-Black men. That is not true at all. So what I think, what I propose, and what my motto is I think you should start by eliminating Tyrone's completely, because you don't want to have to sift through a pile of dust looking for this diamond, this rare unicorn. I suggest that women go to the diamond factory instead, where you can avoid most of the dust and most of the shenanigans altogether. So here's the thing, even when you decide to divest, you're still going to find some dusties amidst some of the diamonds, because there's dusties in every race. Of course, we know that. But the thing with divesting and why it's so important is because when you open up your options to all groups of men, non-black men, the dusty per capita rate is significantly lower, and you're less likely to run into someone who is a dust mite and who may be an ex-felon, or who may be an ex-convict, or someone who's going to pump and dump you and leave you a baby mama. That's just not the norm in non-black cultures. So that's that. You still want to vet though. So don't forget the vetting part. So don't be more lenient just because you're dating non-black men. You're going to want to make these men court you, make them date you, make them be chivalrous, make them prove to you that he's worthy of your time, worthy of your body. You're grown, so you can have sex whenever you want to, whenever you choose, whenever you feel comfortable. But if I were you, I definitely would make him illustrate that he's a good guy and is someone who's worthy of your time prior to giving him access to your body and your time. When I was dating, I've said this before, so I had my checklist off the rip. So whoever I entertain has to have a career. Hey, are you educated? Are you established? Do you have integrity? Are you chivalrous? Do you got bastard children running around everywhere? You know what I mean? And then only then, after meeting all of those requirements on my checklist, would I even entertain a guy and would exchange numbers and allow the man to take me out. So then we would go from there. And again, obviously, no one's waiting until they're married to have sex. That's not, I don't think that that is realistic nowadays, not in 2021. But I would at least date him for a bit prior to sharing your body with him. You asked about a month. That's the time frame that you're thinking. I'm not sure that there's a specified time frame for everybody, but I do think that it's based on your personal preference. I think that you have the right idea. So make him court you. And if a month is what makes you feel comfortable after he's courted you and after he's illustrated that, he's consistent, he's texting you and calling you every day, he is being chivalrous, he's wanting to take you out, he's wanting to spend time with you. Then if you feel comfortable, then do that. If you want to have sex with him. I believe, and I asked my husband this because I don't remember, it's been so long, but he says that we had sex after 4 to 6 weeks after meeting. And here we are 6 years later, happily ever after. So, according to that time frame, that's about a month. And, you're thinking that that's how long you want to wait as well. So go for it, do whatever you feel comfortable with. But I think the most important thing for you is going to be to divest in vet. And then I think if you do that, things will pan out very well. So that's my advice is please update us and let us know how things go. Also, ladies in the chat, if you have any other thoughts or advice or any feedback you'd like to share, please let us know in the chat in the comment section. So this is another installment of my series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the dusty derelicts, crazy creatures and animals, and Blackistan. Today, we're going to talk about the treasonous Tyrone, y'all. Child, I can't. So the profile of your treasonous Tyrone. So you're going to find these guys pointing fingers. You'll also see they are very muscular and have very strong arms. That way, they can throw people under the bus very easily. The treasonous Tyrone is a dusty who has no loyalty at all. He lacks integrity. He has no honor. He is a traitor and he's an opportunist. And he will sell anyone up the river, especially Black women, for the right price. So although you'll see Black women demonstrating an undying loyalty for these dust mites, you'll see them risking their lives, fighting on the front lines and protesting for these men, talking about Black Lives Matter. You oftentimes see them risk their careers to protect them. You'll see mammies in law enforcement, judges, things like that. We just recently talked about a mayor, Mammy Mayor, who risked her entire career because she married a drug dealer trying to protect him. him, so they'll give up their livelihoods for them. They'll risk it all for them, but the favor is not returned. And these treasonous Tyrones will typically throw these same women under the bus at the first opportunity that they get. So notable treasonous Tyrone, I think of Terry Crews. He is probably one of the most well-known treasonous nignogs. We remember he was so quick to throw Gabrielle Union under the bus when she complained about her network and about some of the discrimination that she experienced. Although in the same breath, she caped for him and looked out for him when he shared some scandalous details about harassment that he experienced in Hollywood. So that's your treasonous Tyrone. Now that we know their profile, let's get into a few examples of these Tyrones. So this first one, I want to give a shout out to Shay for sharing this with me. So this happened a few weeks back, and I had this in the archives because I knew it was only a matter of time before we experienced a few more examples of these treacherous, treasonous Tyrones. So ESPN journalist Rachel Nichols, a Becky, was recently caught on audio recording disparaging a Black woman reporter. And the reporter's name is Maria Taylor. She was caught on audio questioning her credentials and implying that she didn't deserve the opportunities that she received at ESPN. And guess who came to cape for her? Okay, so let's listen to the audio first of this Becky bitching and whining about this woman being successful and implying that she didn't deserve the accolades and the accomplishments that she earned.
NBA Finals. Like, when did you do Doris's silent reporter job for the NBA Finals? Because guess what that would go away for? For Maria to do the hosting. Yeah. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that. And, I'm trying to figure out, like, how to just, my thing is, like, I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need her to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your, like, crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I myself, like, know personally for the female side of it, like, go for it. Just, find it somewhere else. Like, you're not going to find it with me. But, hey, instead of hosting the NBA Finals,
okay, so there she is, caught red-handed. Someone secretly recorded her saying that Maria Taylor, this beautiful, successful, intelligent Black woman, only got her position because she's Black. So, of course, the backlash came and happened swiftly. So she apologized. So let's look at the apology.
Be the story.
Here we go.
And I don't plan to break that rule today or distract from a fantastic finals. But I also don't want to let this moment pass without saying how much I respect, how much I value our colleagues here at ESPN, how deeply, deeply sorry I am for disappointing those I hurt, particularly Maria Taylor, and how grateful I am to be part of this outstanding team.
Well, Rachel, I want to say thank you. Thank you for accepting responsibility for your actions. As someone that has known you for a long time, being around you, you have treated me with the utmost respect, and you always made me feel comfortable in your presence. And I know your heart. Great person, great individual. I also know Maria Taylor, great person as well. Very, very talented, hardworking, and I feel like she also deserves every opportunity that is presented her way. My only hope is that we have a commitment overall to support each other through this process.
Be the story.
Okay, bear with me, guys. I know it's hard to listen to this country bumpkin. I don't speak Niggalese either, but let's keep watching.
And continue to support each other through our journey.
No, I agree with Parker. Let me first say this. I fully support Maria Taylor. I've worked with her since I joined ESPN at Get Up and Countdown, and I've known Rachel for 20 years. Rachel and our entire group here have had some very difficult conversations over this time period, and those conversations don't end here. We will continue to have uncomfortable conversations. No one is excused. She is not excused. I am not excused. This doesn't just go away, but we have to learn and understand it and become better for each other, and really through our actions more than anything. And that is our responsibility. And we all have a role in that. And that's something that I take pride in, and I hold to myself and everyone to a very high standard.
Well, thank you guys both for being with me here today. Thank you, everyone out there, for being with us here.
Okay. My gosh, y'all. I can't. So this Becky is apologizing, but it's not because she's truly sorry. She's apologizing because she's gotten caught. So, and here these Tyrones come with a cape on. They're bootlicking, ass kissing, brown nosing. And here's the thing. Have y'all noticed, and I had this epiphany while watching and prepping for this video. The interesting thing is that Black women will cape and coddle Black men and no one else. Black men cape and coddle Becky and no one else. And that's what's happening here. So instead of them simply saying, you know what, I echo those sentiments. Maria Taylor is an accomplished, talented woman who deserves everything that she worked for, and she worked hard for everything that she has, and leaving it at that. They're initiating the conversation by uplifting and pacifying this Becky first, as if she's the one who's been wrong here. They are so treasonous. And even when Black women are wronged, they will oftentimes side with the people who victimize her. It's a mess. Okay, so I want to get into this next example of Sha'Carri Richardson, the Olympian track star who was recently disqualified from the Olympics due to her failing a drug test. She used marijuana. And I want to preface this by saying I have so much empathy for this girl, so much empathy. This is coming from someone who lost her biological mother very, very young. I lost my mom at the age of 29, so I totally get it and I understand what she's going through. I also get having to still function like nothing's wrong and having to power through that grief. I was still working when my mom was in hospice and was still trying to function, still trying to, be a mom, be a wife. And this woman, Sha'Carri, she's an Olympic competitor and has the entire country depending on her. That's a lot of pressure, y'all. So I totally understand, how she wanted to unwind and escape the situation with weed. She may have even had a drink or two for a bit just to kind of disconnect for a bit. So I totally understand it. Losing your mother is not an easy experience. I think about it like even if my mom, like even if your parents are older and they die of old age and natural causes like they're supposed to, it's still difficult, let alone when it's sudden and it's unexpected and your parent is young, like, what happened in Sha'Carri's situation and in mine. So I wanted to show you guys, how when this article was shared, here came the treacherous Tyrone, the treacherous, treasonous Tyrone, so quick, just pouncing on the opportunity to throw her under the bus. So I want to look at the comment section so you guys can see what was happening here. So here's one of the comments. I hate this, but the rules are the rules. Okay, Tyrone, we should say that next time one of you guys is gunned down for not complying with the police. Okay, what else do we have here? We have they wrong for keeping her from the Olympics and she wrong for smoking weed, knowing the rules. And yes, I know her mother died, but still when you're competing in something like the Olympics, you can't be slipping. See, and I don't want to hear that type of feedback from anyone unless you personally experienced losing your mother. I bet you this person's mother is still alive and breathing once it happens and his mom kicks the bucket, God forbid that he wants to smoke a little bit or have a drink or something or do something to alleviate that pain and that grief and to comfort him at that time when he's grieving. No empathy here. See, just pouncing on the first opportunity to throw her under the bus when she's already down. They're kicking her when she's already down. This dumb fool said, damn, guess I got to make a skit about it. And I went to his channel and I briefly entertained showing you guys the skit, but it's just him in an orange wig, looking a fool, acting a fool. So I didn't even want to give this Tyrone the time of day. So they're making skits about this mess. It's like as soon as they see an opportunity to come up, they're opportunistic. As soon as they see an opportunity to come up, if they feel like it'll give them more clicks, more likes, in the previous scenario that we just watched with ESPN, they probably felt like being in that woman's good favor would help them have, more looks, more access to gigs in the future. As soon as they see opportunities like that, they will sell you out. Let's see what else we have here. So this Nignog is saying y'all can't make people change their set rules. Nah, N-I-E. I'm trying my best to translate the niggalese. Instead of, I think he means now. So y'all can't make people change their set rules now. I hate this happened to her, but when you know better, you do better. Man, shut the F up. This pisses me off. Because I remember as I experienced a lot of pressure and a lot of stress when my mom was ill and I was working, and it was hard for me to, handle that and to focus on what I needed to get done and to be a mom and to be a wife, let alone being a whole Olympic track star. Like, get the F out of here. Okay. This guy said she made a mistake and is being held accountable. Okay, Tyrone. Again, remember that the next time you catch a knee to your neck after getting high off of meth. This guy says you get drug tested at work, right? So she got drug tested before the Olympics start like any other athlete. She didn't pass it, so you learn from your mistakes. Okay, whatever. Now everybody's all high and mighty, knowing that 90% of these commenters, in Blackistan, all these niggas smoke weed. But all of a sudden, this woman has a dirty drug test, and we want to act like that nobody's smoking weed over there. Okay, pothead Pookie. This guy said why smoking is so important and waste your skills with it. See what I mean? Lord Jesus, she has nobody to blame but herself. I don't feel sorry for her one bit. Okay, I won't feel sorry the next time you do something like have a broken tail light or go reach for your license and you catch a bullet. Because you should have complied when the officer told you not to touch anything. You should have sat down with your hands on the steering wheel. I don't care. Rules are rules. What does this last one say? Y'all acting like she couldn't follow the rules like the other athletes. She knew what she did and knew the consequences. Oh, the irony. He misspelled knew. He meant to say knew, but he put she knew what she did and knew the consequences. She don't give a damn, clearly. So why y'all stressing? That's how she chose to deal with the passing of her mom, and that's that. There's more athletes to support that followed the rules so they can represent the U.S. Quite honestly, I believe what I read, and forgive me if I am recollecting incorrectly, but I believe that her mother was an addict. Thank God that all she decided to do was weed. Thank the Lord. Because most people who have lost their mother at such a young age, there's people who are popping pills, there are people who are shooting up, there are people who are doing all sorts of bull crap over less stressful experiences. Thank God that's all she did was smoke. But see what I mean? There's no empathy here. There's no understanding. I mean, we know rules are rules, but here's the thing. Rules are rules, and they believe rules are rules until they get pulled over for smoking weed. Until they get locked up for illegal possession of drugs. Then it's, legalize marijuana, free all the Tyrones who have been previously locked up for weed. That's not right. It's legal in a lot of areas of the country, so they shouldn't be penalized. They should have their record expunged. Rules don't apply to them. Rules is rules until they want to resist arrest and until they're turned into bullet bags as a direct result of their actions. Rules are rules until they get caught with counterfeit money and high off drugs and they catch a knee to the neck. Black woman, I'm gonna need y'all to keep that same energy. Because the rules only apply for some reason when you caught up in some bullish. I mean, look at the baby who's under fire now for being homophobic. And we'll talk more about him later. But how come rules don't apply to the baby? You can't go around denigrating people and degrading gay people, fool. But rules ain't rules when it comes to him, and Nignogs like him. If you look under those articles and look at the comment section, they all caping for him, talking about freedom of speech. Or, oh, no, they're just trying to hold a Tyrone down. and they want you to stand in solidarity with them to support them through their bull crap. I bet you if Sha'Carri was a Tyrone, best believe you be called on to boycott the Olympics. They be telling you to boycott Nike, boycott track, and all that crap. And we go along with it like dummies because that's what Black women like to do. Cape and engage in unreciprocal relationships that we don't benefit from. Y'all, I can't. Okay, so speaking of the baby, so I want to get into Treasonous rapper The Baby, who has recently made the headlines for supporting Tory Lanez, even though Tory shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. So I'll give you a little bit of background if you've been living under a rock. So a while back, Meg Thee Stallion dated that disappearing hairline having eggnog, that little person struggle R&B artist, stunt queen, Tory Lanez. So they got into an altercation and he ended up shooting her in the foot. It was caught on camera and everything. And it was absolutely disgusting how Blackistan victim blamed Meg and still to this day continues to argue with her and to cape over this little short nignog. But that's another story. But anyway, so during that time, The Baby and Meg Thee Stallion had a very friendly relationship. So they made music together. They've been featured on one another's songs. Meg even said that behind closed doors, The Baby supported her and denounced Tory Lanez for shooting her. Then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, The Baby decided to record and release music and release a song with Tory Lanez. And it prompted her to post this series of tweets. So this article says, Meg Thee Stallion calls out The Baby for Tory Lanez retweet. So yeah, so she ended up retweeting. I guess The Baby and Tory Lanez cool now because they both shot somebody and don't have to do no jail time. So we know The Baby has shot several people and he's gotten away with it too. So Meg retweeted that. Let's see what else. So, then Meg Thee Stallion tweeted, support me in private and publicly do something different. These industry men are very strange. This situation ain't no damn beef. And I really wish people would stop downplaying it like it's some internet-ish for likes and retweets. So she's basically saying this is strange because you told me behind closed doors, The Baby, that you supported me. You don't support violence against women. Now publicly you're doing something totally different. That's not cool. It's not about beef. Just that's bitch assness. So the article says instead of apologizing, because The Baby got a big head, he doubled down and he told Megan not to let these folks get the best of you. He also said, stand on what you stand on without feeling like I'm against you. Then Meg replied and said, my stance hasn't changed at all. Yours has. We already spoke about this in private and you specifically said that ain't even no good business move. Why would I promote that ish? But now this ain't your beef. That ain't real, but you stay on your business, my G. So you see the hypocrisy. So, she's clearly upset. She could have died. She got shot at the hands of this dignog. He could have easily ended her life. And these industry men are still supporting and backing this fool. What a mess. Yeah, so then he responded like a Blackistani idiot and said, I don't even go back and forth with my own B words on the net. Now I'm on this mother effer going back and forth with another nigga woman about some other ish, another nigga accused. How the F that work? I can't, y'all. I cannot. I can't. So they had that back and forth. Then recently, to add insult to injury, The Baby brings Tory Lanez out at Rolling Loud, a concert, very shortly after Meg performed. So let's watch this clip and then we will chat.
What's good? It's Asia Sky back again from DX Daily Podcast. And get this one. All right, so The Baby and Megan Thee Stallion have not been on the greatest of terms ever since The Baby linked up with Tory Lanez last month for their brand new song, Scat. After they got into a public back and forth on Twitter, they both unfollowed each other on social media. And from there, it looked like their friendly relationship had come to an end. Well, this whole back and forth between the two of them got brought up again after this past weekend, where The Baby brought out Tory Lanez for his set at Rolling Loud Festival 2021. So initially, Tory Lanez's identity was concealed by a giant baby costume.
I'll get somebody out here $1 million if they can guess who in here. I got $1 million right now. If you can guess who. 4 times, who you think? Who?
Now, what makes all of this more interesting, prior to the baby bringing Tori out, the baby actually performed the song he and Megan Thee Stallion have together. So a lot of people on social media were speculating as to whether or not the baby was throwing shade by bringing out Tory Lanez, or if he just happened to bring out Tori because he and Tori have this song together. We want to know what you think.
See what I mean about this treason? See what I mean? So it's not bad enough that Meg got shot. She could have died at the hands of this monster, and that the baby still decided to proceed with making music with this fool. But he had to add insult to injury and bring out the little man moments after Meg performed at that show. But you know what? Karma is a bitch. And this is why, Black women, you don't have to worry about getting revenge on these nignogs. You don't have to worry about enacting revenge on them, because the universe will naturally make that happen, because good don't come back to you when you put BS out there and when you wrong people like this. Now, due to the baby's recent homophobic commentary, he's getting canceled left and right, losing millions left and right. Every time I look up, I see another concert, another show appearance canceled because of his bullcrap. So F him. F him. That's what the F you get. That's what you get, the baby. And the crazy part is, and I wasn't even going to say this, but the messed up part is that same night, that's when he brought out the woman, the domestic violence abuser who shot her in the leg. No backlash. No backlash at all. But he's getting canceled because you can't mess with the gays. It's crazy. Okay. So let's get into this last article about struggle comedian Michael Shea, who recently released a series of problematic tweets about Simone Biles. So shout out to ZP for sharing this with me. I don't want to dox you. Thank you so much for sharing this. But let's pull up this article and talk through what happened here. So again, if you have been living under a rock, so recently Simone Biles, the Olympic gymnast, has decided to resign from participating in a few Olympic events, and she cited mental health issues. So, Simone Biles is the epitome of Black girl magic. She is a gold medalist. She is amazing. She's beautiful, very, very talented, and she's decided to bow out of some of the competitions at the Olympics due to her mental health. So struggle comedian from Nignog from Saturday Night Live responded by posting this mess. So he says first, man, I want to make fun of Simone Biles. Then he posts, I got like 3 minutes of Simone Biles jokes in my head. I'm going to the cellar tonight to say them into a microphone, as the dorky kids say. I'm choosing violence. So he knew it was very problematic what he was about to say, but he proceeded to say it anyway. And this is what he said. Larry Nassar understands Simone Biles better than anyone. He too had to quit doing what he loved at the pinnacle of his career because of mounting pressure. Sheesh. See, this is heavy. So if you don't know, he is the man that was a gymnast doctor that R-worded and sexually assaulted a slew of gymnasts, including Simone Biles. See how disgusting these nignogs are? And like I always say, there's no low with these Tyrones. That you think, how low would you go? They'll go to hell. They'll go all the way to hell. They have no boundaries at all. And it's so crazy because a few days later, he talked about how he got hacked because he experienced a lot of backlash. No, he didn't get hacked. He's just your typical disgusting, treasonous Tyrone. He don't give a ish about her feelings. To bring up her sexual assault, her R word is, in a joke is disgusting, especially when she's already citing mental issues. See, there's no empathy here in Blackistan. These Tyrones, they have no sympathy for you. Simone is clearly going through it to resign from her position at the Olympics and to cite mental health issues. There's no humanity there, though. There's no humanity. He simply sees it as an opportunity to further his struggle career, to get more publicity as a comedian, and pokes fun at her mental health and at her getting sexually assaulted. So this is your treasonous Tyrone. This is your treasonous Tyrone. And I think this is a perfect illustration of why divestment is so important. So let's take race out of it. So let's say you came across an investment opportunity and thought it was promising. So you decided to invest $100 into it every time you got paid. So let's say you've been doing it for 10 years. So like clockwork, every other Friday, bi-weekly, you investing $100 in this opportunity. Then you looked at the balance with your brokerage and you see your investment is worth $0. Would you continue to invest in that investment? Would you continue to put your money into it for another 10 years, although you see clearly there is no ROI? There is no return on investment in this investment? In fact, you're better off just flushing money down the toilet. Now your investment is worth $0. No, you wouldn't continue to invest in it. You would divest. In the same way, in the same manner, we have to stop pouring into people, stop showing an undying loyalty, an undying level of support to men who don't do the same for us. So no, I'm not protesting. I'm not marching on the front lines. I'm not boycotting anything. I'm not engaging in any of these unreciprocal arrangements with these treasonous men who will throw us under the bus and sell you up the river at the first chance that they get. I'm sorry. Divest, y'all. All right. That's all I got. Until next time. See you guys. Bye.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.
You